This is the 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. This is the SLT trim level. And this truck's pretty special to me because all of you helped me to be able to buy it. This is my new truck. And I'm going to go through it with you today and tell you about one specific thing that this truck does not have. I have filmed so many of these trucks. Carrie's helped me with a lot of them. I don't know how I didn't notice this before. I'm not going to take a long time to get to that point, but I do want to thank everybody who watches my videos regularly that made it possible to buy this truck. Kind of my dream truck, I guess, at this point in life. I really like it a lot. So let's see what all it has. Now, one thing that's nice about GMC is that if you go with a lower trim level, obviously SLT is not the highest trim level, you can still basically turn it into a Denali for a lot less money. And that's pretty much what I've done, especially on the interior. But let's start here with the headlights. We're going to have the LED daytime running lights. We're also going to have the LED headlights. Now, those are projector beam headlights, but they definitely do a great job of lighting everything up. Down here on the lower portion of the bumper, we'll also have our LED fog lights. And you'll notice all of the sensors here. That means that I have front and rear parking sensors. I also have front and rear park assist. All of that stuff is here. The recovery hooks right here for when I need to pull the Fords and the Rams and the Nissans and the Hondas, sorry, out of the mud, the snow, the sand, whatever they're stuck in. Well, it's there. And if you're wondering, if you haven't really looked at one of these trucks before, is this area active? Yes, it is. That actually does allow air into the engine right there, so that isn't just a faux vent or anything like that. For me personally, I do like the chrome that we have here on the front end. I think that matches very well here. It has a little bit of an elegant look to it. Now, here's something that might be a little bit of a surprise. You have a front camera right here, and you also have the front camera washer. That's right, I have the full setup here with the technology package and all of that. You might be surprised, and you might be surprised at the price because I definitely didn't pay way into the 90s to buy this truck. Now, it is four-wheel drive, and let's talk about our tire and wheel size. I'll let Carrie take a look. The width is going to be 275. We're going to have a 70 series sidewall wrapped around 18-inch wheels. And you might wonder, why'd you go with 18-inch wheels, Tom? Well, two reasons. Number one, to me, they look a lot better than the 20-inch wheel option. That's all you have with this truck. And that smaller wheel means a little bit of an improved ride quality. So I like that. Now, this will let you know what's under the hood. The Duramax diesel, 6.6 liter, and that's going to be mated to the 10-speed automatic transmission, that Allison transmission. Our mirrors here, we could do a whole video on the mirrors by themselves. You've got all of the lights built in for working after dark. They are power adjustable. They're power folding. You've got lights on this side as well. And you have your blind spot monitoring built in right there. I really like that a lot, and I'm going to show you a couple of other things about that in just a bit. And the one thing I do miss, before I bought this truck, I had a GMC 1500, a Sierra 1500, and it had passive entry, which is this button right here. When I have the remote, I can open or lock and unlock all four doors from right here. But I liked the fact that there was a button on the rear doors as well. So that truck was also an SLT, but it was a 21 model. So a little bit of a difference there. I opted to go with the affixed in place assist steps. Don't really need anything more than that, but I definitely wanted that to make getting in and out a lot easier. Plus, there is a bonus to having assist steps that stay out. Okay, you can actually, if you do have the power assist steps, you can go into your infotainment system and leave them deployed. But here's the thing, if somebody who has a vehicle that isn't as high up as mine or higher opens their door right next to me, they're going to hit the steps before they're going to hit the body. I like that. And as we work our way back, we're going to find our fuel tank here. Obviously, we've got where we fill up right here, the DEF right there, diesel exhaust fluid. Well, we all know that's not necessary, but it's there. And if you're curious, that is a 36-gallon gas tank. I really like that a lot. Gives me tons of fuel for quite a long time. Obviously, this truck is a 4x4, so four-wheel drive if I need it. And we finish things off here with a very nice, clean look with the taillights. Everything's just very well balanced back here. Sierra logo, GMC logo, and our SLT logo. And if you're wondering about this light, that's actually meant to assist in backing up to a trailer after dark. The good thing is I can also have the overhead view and quite a few different views with this model. And as I mentioned earlier, under the hood, the Duramax diesel, 6.6 liters, 470 horsepower, and 975 pound-feet of torque. This thing will pull a house if I need to. I mean, literally, I guess I could become a hotshot driver and, you know, maybe move somebody's mobile home or something like that. I don't know. But I did want to show you here that, number one, there's a button on the interior here where I can fold those power folding side view mirrors in, but there's also a button to where when I'm towing a trailer, which I will tow my race car trailer with this truck, I can extend these towing mirrors out. That is a very nice feature. And beyond that, you can go into the infotainment screen, and it doesn't matter on trim level. You can go in and there's a setting where when you lock the truck, the mirrors automatically fold in. That doesn't come as a standard feature as far as it just does that. You have to turn it on or you can turn it off if you want to. It really doesn't matter. It's just up to you. And if I wanted to gain access to the front of my bed without having to actually get into the bed, it is nice that I have the bed step right here where I can just get right in. I can reach into the front or as far as I can potentially reach. I really like that. That way, without having the power assist steps where you push the button on the back and the step comes back here, in a way that's even better because it's a little bit higher. And in case you didn't notice before, we'll show you the 2500 logo right here. Just some added value, things you might not normally notice. And right down here, if it gets cold enough, I can plug in my block heater right there and get things heated up. That's nice to have. And let's talk about what we have here with the bed. Obviously, there is plenty of room back here. Towing, without the towing package and upgrade, you're looking at 18,000 pounds. However, if you do go with the towing package, basically what it does is it turns this truck into a single wheel 3500. It'll have the front end of a 2500, but the springs and everything back here will be that of the 3500, and it will jump you up to 22,000 pounds. And real quick, let's talk a little bit about the Multi-Pro tailgate. I'm going to let Carrie come in and show you what's there as I give you the numbers on payload. 1736 up to 3,975 pounds. So you're definitely not hurting where that is concerned. And for those of you who are maybe new to these trucks, let me just quickly go over what we have here with the Multi-Pro tailgate. So here's what we have. So we can open it this way. You can use that as a table if you want to. There's a lot of things you could do right there. If you need to use it as a bed extender, you can do that. That's not the only way you can do it. So there's a lot more here than just that. You can also open it like this to the conventional position and use that as a bed extender this way as well. Or if I wanted to, I can just leave that open like that and then drop that. Now here's something that I think is useful here that isn't so useful on the 1500s, at least for me. There's a grab handle right here. With the 1500s, I can get in and out of the bed all day long without grabbing onto anything. But with the height of this truck, at least for me at 5'10", well, I like that. That works. I need that. And also, you've got your graphite material right here. Kind of, I always like to refer to that. It reminds me of grip tape on a skateboard. For those of you who have been around long enough, we used to do all that kind of stuff, go skateboarding all the time. But there is one neat little trick here to keep people who maybe we're getting a little bit too much going and too much on our mind. And what happens if you have a ball back here, a trailer hitch back here, and you open the tailgate? Well, if this part's down, it's going to go right into that ball down there and it's going to damage it. So here's how you deal with it. I'm going to hold the button down on the top. This takes about 8 seconds, and watch the light. The lights are going to flash. We'll let that happen real quick. There we go. It flashes 3 times. So here's what happens. Now when I push that button, nothing happens. I can still open the tailgate in the conventional way, but I'm not going to damage the tailgate. And obviously, to turn that back off, you just hold it again. So a nice little feature built in from GMC. We're gonna let those lights flash one more time. Takes a few seconds to get there. And now we're back to where we were. Now there's a lot more here. You've got a lot of tie downs. You've got 3 in the front, 3 in the rear on both sides. So you definitely are not hurting for the ability to tie things down, do whatever you need to do. A total of 12 tie down points. And I don't have them on right now, but it's not easiest to see anyway, but you do have the in-bed lighting right here on both sides. That shines in and really does a good job of illuminating the bed. I am going to do a nighttime test drive, so stay tuned for that. That way you can see how all of that works. One of the features I added, it was an option, is that I have everything ready to go for towing a fifth wheel or a gooseneck. Obviously the truck has all of the different connections for that, and you'll also have your 110 power outlet, or I believe that's 120 right there. Also one in the cab of the truck. Now the one thing that I wish that this truck had that it doesn't, and it's purely because of the fact that I have the multi-pro tailgate, is the fact that I can use the remote to open the tailgate. In fact, I'll do that real fast. All I have to do, there's the remote, by the way. We'll just show that to you real quick while I have that out. It has remote start and all of that, but push the button twice and the tailgate's going to open. However, with the multi-pro tailgate, it's not going to power up. So if you want that feature, you'll have to go with the conventional style tailgate. And one more thing, for 2024, this is something else that changed. I'm gonna hit the unlock button right here, and there's a reason for this. And then I'm going to hit the remote start button right there twice. Notice I am not locking the truck. Notice the truck started. It will lock itself now. It used to be that with the previous trucks over the years until 2024, that you had to lock the truck yourself before you used remote start. And in case you're wondering, the exterior color is called Volcanic Red Tint Coat. A very nice, deep, rich red, just perfect for me. I like that. The interior color is dark walnut with slate. And so it's nice to have something that's not just a black interior. At least for me, that's my preference. Let's talk about the doors here. Now this is not going to be specific to one particular model of the truck really. So we do have plenty of armrest space. The armrest seems to be pretty comfortable. Does Kerry like that? I think he does. Gives us the thumbs up there. You have your button here for lowering the power windows. They're power one touch down, but you will have to hold it to bring them back up for the rear doors back here. And when we look down, we see the enormous door bin. There is so much space in there, you almost can't use all of it up. So that's very interesting to find that. And when it comes to the rear seats, I love the rear in-seat storage on these seat backs. Something you just don't see on a lot of other trucks, any other trucks besides Chevrolets and GMCs. And I'm taking advantage of that. It's nice to have that there, conceal things away. That's always a good thing. Obviously, your fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. It would be nice to see these cup holders in a vertical position, because that way, when there's a cup in each one, they can still use this, your rear seat passengers, as an armrest. You put a bottle in each side, then, well, it kind of defeats the purpose in a way. It becomes something other than a multitasker. And also, very comfortable to have the, or should I say useful, more than comfortable, but you have the grab handles here, one in every single corner. That's good, makes it easy to get in and out. But before we do that, let me do this. Put this up, see if I can get that seat up. I guess we could probably do that one-handed from either side, but you can see I've got a few things underneath here for the under-seat storage. You will find everything to change a tire. There is a spare tire located underneath the rear of the truck, so that's going to be there, makes it very easy. And you'll also notice that there's pretty much a completely flat floor. There's just barely a small area right here. I don't know if we'd even call that a transmission tunnel. It's so small. So that's there, really not too bad for middle seat passengers or the middle seat passenger. And let me hop inside here. One thing that this truck most certainly does not lack is cup holders, because you have the one in each door, you have two right here, you have two with the armrest right there, not lacking at all. The one thing I wish was different here, while it's not really going to affect me so much, if I have rear seat passengers, it might, and that's the size of these air conditioning vents. They're a little on the small side. And we'll also have heated outboard seats, but I want you to pay attention here. You'll notice what's here, USB options. What's not there? Obviously, I'm going to tell you, but you probably already see that there's no 12-volt power outlet. Remember I told you about something that was missing? I have a dash cam system here that runs off of a 12-volt power outlet. Now, I will show you in the front seat how I fixed that problem. There is a solution for that. But that's one thing that my 21 1500 Sierra had that this truck does not, that I really wish it did. Okay, and just as is the case with any of our Vehicle Visionary videos at this point in the video, I like to give you the price. So for those of you who are saying, okay, Tom, what did you pay for your truck? With all the different features I added, which there was quite a bit, $81,535 is what I paid. Let's see what else that I'm getting for that price. And we'll start with the passenger side door panel over there. Very comfortable armrest for the passenger, plenty of room right there. And then the button for the one touch down and one touch up. Windows right there. So the front doors do have one touch down and one touch up. Also the large door bins right there. And you have the Bose premium audio system here as well. So that's a nice thing. And obviously power adjustable seats. Have all of that there. I haven't looked to see if there's lumbar support. There is lumbar support, so that's a good thing. We did a Honda Pilot in a previous video. I don't know, it may come out after this one, but it over $55,000, and it did not have lumbar support for the passenger side. So one of those things. I haven't sat over there and really paid attention, so that's why I'm not sure. And we'll have Kerry hop on inside here into the interior. In fact, he can close that door. It is really quiet in this truck. I really like how quiet it is driving down the road. I love hearing the diesel engine, but it's not too much. And right here, the button for the upper glove box. And you'll find out that even I am not putting gloves in my glove boxes. So there's some business cards right there just from a friend of mine. Got a few things in there, just a few little things that fit. There's my business cards, and so yeah, pretty easy to deal with. Nice amount of room, and I'll let Kerry open that lower glove box right there. More of a traditional style glove box, but there is a lot of room in there. That's where I'm going to find my wheel lock key. Now, I do have wheel locks that came with this truck, so nice to know where that is. And for Kerry's sake, I'm going to push this button right here because that's going to turn on his ventilated seat right there. Now, they are heated as well. We don't need that, and we probably won't need that for many months to come. So that's good. It cools down very quickly, doesn't it? Now, here's what I was telling you about earlier. I bought this on Amazon. I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that, but you can find these USB to 12 volt power outlets on Amazon. So there it is right there. So very nice to have that feature to make up for the absence of a power outlet. Plenty of space right here. That makes a big difference. Obviously, you control the dual zone climate control right here. You know what all is there. Plenty of room. Now, one thing that I did notice is that these cup holders don't seem to, I don't know if they're not as deep or if they're a little bit wider than what I had in my 1500 because everything doesn't seem to fit quite as snugly as it did before. Not necessarily a big deal, but that's the case. And I do have my wireless charging pad right there. When I get into the truck, I automatically just drop my phone in, and I don't have to even look at the phone to see if it's charging or not, because right up here on the screen where you see phone, you see that green logo right there. I guess it's a lightning bolt that lets me know that the phone is in there and that it's charging. Nice large center console, plenty of real estate. In case my forearms get a lot bigger over the course of time, you never know. I don't know if that'll happen or not. I'm going to have to eat a lot more for that to happen and probably work out a lot harder. But there is plenty of room here and plenty of room within. And you might think, well, and why is my dash cam sitting there? Because I've had a hard time getting it to stick to the windshield. I'm still trying to solve that problem. Plenty of room underneath, however. There is a ton of room in here. So a lot going on there as far as space goes. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to move all that stuff out of the way. So what we have right here is, let's put that back in, is a very spacious center console. Now we'll also find there is another power outlet, and then we have a couple more USB options right here. Still no 12 volt power outlets. What were you thinking, GMC? But what's amazing is that as many as these trucks as we've done over the course of the last year, I never noticed that. So also a little bit of space right here above the infotainment screen. And this was new for a 2024 model year, the 13.4 inch screen. And by the way, you can hold these icons down and move them around if you want to. I have paired my smartphone so you can see what it looks like on the screen with Apple CarPlay right there. It is wirelessly done. You also have Google Assistant, so you can say, hey, Okay, I won't do it because I might set off devices in your house. Although that would be kind of a funny way to prank people, but they might not watch me again. But here is one of my favorite features that I optioned into the truck, the technology package, all of those different camera views. I have more than just the backup camera. So we have a couple of different views here, and there is the rear view, there is the front view, and there is the front camera washer in action. And in case you're wondering how I did that, all I did was push the button here on the turn signal lever where you control your headlights, or excuse me, your windshield wipers, and this is the button I pushed right here. So, well, let me show you what else is here. Notice there are a couple of different views from basically every area of the truck, whether it's overhead or whatever it may be. There's the side view mirror cameras, really like that. And then if I wanted to back up to a trailer and didn't have anybody to help me out, well, I can do that by myself now, no big deal. And let's go back here real quick. There we go, the bed camera. If Kerry was asleep back there and I thought it was him and I wasn't sure, I could zoom in and find out. If I couldn't find him, I could do that and just check on him. You never know what might happen. And how about settings? Well, first of all, let's go into trailering right here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but you can see what all you have. It's really nothing new. It's just a matter of fact that it's here and it has a different look compared to what it did in the past. You can see some of the other features there. But I do have connections, vehicle, apps, display, all of that stuff that I can go in here and change if I want to. We're going to go in here into vehicle. And for those of you who are wondering about safety features, what do I have? Well, I can change the alert type, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking. We have adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert. We also have park assist. I told you we had the front and rear park assist earlier, and then park assist tow bar, and the rear cross traffic alert. There's a lot going on here, and I can go back right here to where I was. Let's go back. We actually went to a place where I didn't mean to go. Let's go back in here. Here we go. Back to vehicle. Don't go too far. And you'll notice that I don't have buckle to drive on. Well, I still use my seat belt every time I'm driving. I don't need to be reminded of anything in the back seat, so that's not on. But you can see what else is here. Comfort and convenience, lighting, all of that. Power door locks. Go in here real quick and show you what we've got there. If you want to make any changes where that's concerned, that's easy to do. This system is so easy that you can use the hunt and peck method. You don't need me to really tell you all about it. But what I do want to do is have you come over here in just a second with me to the driver's seat, and I'm going to tell you what's going on over here. All right, let's take a look here at the driver's side door. I do have two settings for seat memory right here and all of the typical controls. By the way, this is the button I used to fold the mirrors in. This is the button I used to control the trailer mirrors and their position as far as that goes. Here's my power parking brake, everything here for drive modes, and then controlling all the lighting on the exterior of the vehicle. And you can't really see it very well if I can give you a good view of it, but right here in the center is the release to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. If you have one of these trucks and your auto high beams are not functioning, you can turn them on here or turn them off there if you want to manage that yourself. And something else here, let's take a look at the animated graphics that come up on the screens on the dash and the infotainment screen right there, just to show you what's here. That's what the truck has. Some people aren't worried about that, but I just figured I'd show you real quick what we have where that's concerned. And as far as the instrument cluster goes, you can actually go in and make a lot of changes to how that looks if you wanted to. The display layout, you can change left side, right side, lower gauges. You can see everything you do. And if I got to a point where I said, you know what, I really don't like what I've done, I could go right there and reset that. So there's a lot going on where that's concerned. Not a big deal. I can change where the digital speedometer is. You can even go in and get rid of the likeness of the truck right there if you wanted to. It's a shame that's not the same color as my truck is. It's just default, I guess. That is a 13.2-inch screen, by the way. And one thing that I know some people have talked about in the past with the column shifter right here is that they say it gets in the way of the infotainment screen. For me personally, not a problem. It does not block the screen at all. This truck does have adaptive cruise control, and so that's a good thing. Nice to have that. And all of my controls right here for going through different settings. And I showed you what was over here as far as the turn signal lever goes. One thing I didn't option into this truck was the head-up display. Not a big deal for me personally. Really not that worried about it. And if I want to manually go through the 10-speed transmission, I can do that right there. Speaking of that, let me go here into drive modes. So there's off-road, there's normal, and obviously that's all we have here. So we don't actually have a sport mode, which is kind of disappointing because I like sportiness, but I really don't need to do that. This truck has plenty of get up and go, that's for sure. And the upper console, if you're wondering what these wires are right here, that's for my dash cam that I've had a hard time getting to stick. So we're gonna work on that and fix that. But here is the upper console in case you're wondering what's here. Everything is here. You can use the opener, your garage door opener can be programmed in right there if you want to, or however many, if you have 3 doors, you can do that. You have 3 different settings there. So it's nice to have all of that right there. It definitely works there. And how about the size of the sun visors? They're nice and big. Have the vanity mirrors right there where the lights slowly come on. I guess that's supposed to be maybe some elegance. I don't know. There's what you have. And the visor actually goes all the way back. It completely covers the window right there. So that's a good thing. And one thing that might be of interest, you'll notice the hood is pretty long and very squared off, so you might think, is it hard to see what's around you? No, it really isn't. Not only because, well, number one, I'm used to driving the truck, but number two, it's just not a problem. I also have those front and rear parking sensors, and so the seat vibrates and lets me know what's going on around me as I need to know, whether it's if I'm changing lanes or something in front or behind. This truck literally has a little bit of everything. I would definitely consider this truck to be a luxury truck. And one thing I did want to show with the marker lights right here, I'm going to turn those on so you can see that. Just kind of a nice little added feature. Instead of just having them there as reflectors, you actually have that illuminated area right here. And you'll also notice that I have the cab lights up there as well. You can't have a truck this size and leave those out. That was an option. And something else you might have noticed that is not here, a sunroof. Personally, I don't like a sunroof in my vehicles, just my personal preference. You actually would have to option the sunroof in if you ordered this truck. So I didn't have to worry about that. I just left it out. So that is my 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 HD SLT. It's a mouthful and I'm happy to have it. Again, I do want to thank everybody who watches my videos. Y'all have done so much for me in the last year to year and a half. It's really been a life-changing experience in a positive way, and I can't say enough about how much I appreciate that. Maybe one of these days we'll have some kind of vehicle visionary meet and greet. We'll see. I do want to thank all of you for taking the time to watch. Make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And you might have noticed I didn't do a test drive here. That's because I'm going to do a nighttime test drive where I show you how this truck looks after dark inside and out. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out that video right over there, and we'll see you there.